Well, one administrative thing first, Terry. We're having a veterans dinner. We're putting together a veterans dinner at noon on the 10th of November at the high school. And we talked this morning. I feel that where you served the years you did as a highway patrolman, you've served our country, and you would qualify as a veteran. If you'd like to attend, you and your wife, your meals will be paid for and everything.
Well, thank you very much.
What'd that come out to?
$46.
Less than I think.
And
But that's still
you
out
can
of
let
law.
me know or call Pete Jensen
Okay.
if you wish to attend.
All right.
Only has the 650.
I OP'd anyway.
Pardon?
I OP'd anyway. He took my
600.
garden trash up and disposed of it for me.
Might have been that high.
Okay. Well, I know you've read the article I put in the paper. I question Barnes and both of you. I mean, you say you've read this book, right?
I got a copy of it.
You've read it. The court case I mentioned in the newspaper is right out of this book, and there's two more that back up my claim, Kansas Supreme Court claim, that the road to the south of my house is a legal county road. You read this, and there was copies of it in the brochures I gave you of those court cases. You'll find that that road to south of my house is a legal county road. Have you read this? Read page 34, 35, 36. You'll find a court case, a Kansas Supreme Court case that'll help clarify. And I suggest that you read it. So I strongly suggest you read it.
Okay.
Now,
I think on that road case that they was talking about was a through road. Is that correct?
it mentions, in this case, where there's no road, a record of a road open. All I'm saying, because I'm trying to keep my temper down, I'm irritated. But all I'm saying is it states right in there, where there's no record of a road opening, that then you go back to old records. And as I stated before, even when I was here before, and I stated in the paper, you go up to the county museum, you'll find an aerial photo of 1949 shows 6 houses on that road. The Hendersons, when we bought our property, and everybody else bought their property down there, guaranteed us this. We've given this roadway. The gas company has a 60-foot, 753-foot easement through there. That is a legal county road. And now, and you brought this up about a petition before. If you had read through that brochure that I gave you, and I'm going to ask you to read this since you're the most educated person here, you'll find that petition has already been done once, and I'll explain you what happened then. If you read it to everybody, since you're the legal mind here.
In all actuality, Mr. Dungan, what you need to do is you need to consult an attorney.
Ma'am, I'll explain that in a minute too.
To make sure that this is done properly, because this is a letter.
You'll notice it's notarized on the back. And I'll cover that. You're forced me to go into something that I did not want to go into, because I have been to an attorney before, but I'm going to read this to you here first. And this is written by Anna Brewer, Doug, and Dwight Brewer. And it's to Governor Sam Brown, 2nd floor, Capitol Building, 300 Southwest Avenue, Topeka, Kansas. Attorney General Stephanie N6, 2nd floor, Memorial Hall, 120 West 10th Avenue, Topeka, Kansas. To whom this may concern, we, the Brewer family, give our permission for William W. Dungan to use this letter in his efforts to again establish East 4th Street as a legal road or street. We were the 4th family to build a home on East 4th Street, a Park Hill subdivision. There were 2 Henderson families, and Marvin Ryman built a home in 1947. Already here, when our family bought our lot from the Hendersons in 1949. Our family bought our lot in 1949. At the time we bought our ground, we were promised by the Henderson family that the road to or street south of our property was an established road and would never be closed. This was also told to the Dungan family when they moved here. In fact, Ryman Land Abstract states his property borders East 4th Street, the Park Hill subdivision, a distance of 208 feet. For over 50 years, we never had a problem with our road or the right to drive on it. It has been used by the public and everyone that has lived or owned property on East 4th Street. The gas company has a 60-foot easement along East 4th Street. In the late 1970s, the county quit taking care of the road. However, when I came back for a year after I retired from the service, the county was still maintaining the road. In the late 70s, the county quit taking care of the road, but only bladed when we were asked for it to be bladed. This was done by Mr. Ritchie and continued on by you, Fleming. According to the county road laws of the state of Kansas, East 4th Street still is a street road. It states in several places that if the road has been used for 15 years, it has an established road. It also states that in the event of lot or records that have not been filed, then the elderly person to have lived in the area may be asked. The people who are fighting this road closure run in age from 65 to 106 years old, living on property for over 50 years or longer. They all state that East 4th Street was given as an established road by the Henderson family when they sold lots for the people to build their homes on. When St. Francis was growing, this part of East 4th Street was planned to be annexed in the city. According to Section 17 of the county road laws, this is a road by prescription. It states that is a road has been used for 15 years or more. With the landowner's knowledge, it is an established road. It was used for more than 15 years with the landowner's knowledge. It states, Section 18, that a public nuisance is an unreasonable interference with the right common to general public. This might be constructed as a condition danger to health or offensive community. We, the Brewer family, ask that our statement be added to the legal action being filed by our neighbor, William Dungan, in an attempt to resolve this existing problem. Now, that was one letter. I did what you asked. Now, what happened is all four of us lived on the north-hand side. And that was, in this case, was Alvin A. Mack, Brewer family, myself, and Dave Myers. We all filled out petitions, filled it out. Well, what happened, we got ready to do the petition, file it. First thing happened is that Alvin A. Mack told me he was advised not to get involved in it. Second person, Dave Myers, who used at that time the Milligan Law Group to do his legal work because his father had used it and he inherited money from it. Dave Myers told me he can't sign it because Carrie Gillen said she would file charges against him for the condition of his yard if he signed this petition. You know as well as I do, that's abuse of power position. That's one problem with Carrie Gillen. When I first moved down there, or when I first came back, because of a health condition, my mom, other elderly people, there was a feedlot or cattle feeding operation right across the street from the Brewers, catty corner across from my place, less than 100 feet from my front yard, or my front door. So I went to Carrie Gillen then and asked to get it moved. She wouldn't do anything. So I went right here to the assay office, found it was still listed as vacant lot residential where he's feeding his cattle. I brought her a copy of the Kansas law regarding cattle feeding operations, and it states that any cattle feeding operation must be at least 100 feet from established fence lines. Now, he can only fence in 200 feet because that is a roadway, which means that if he put this feeding bunker right down the center, he would be within 100 feet of either fence line, which means you had to move it. And why, the question is, with 43 acres, would you put a cattle feeding operation 100 feet of the person's front door? That's the second thing. Now, the third thing is right upstairs is a copy of court action declaring Ed Morris a public nuisance. He had moved into my rental house, started hauling in junk, animals, stuff like that there. I got a copy of that. I took all three of those to Carrie Gillen and showed her the problem. She said, well, that doesn't pertain to the Yost. She was using her position as a county attorney to protect one of her law firms, which she did legal work. Now, those are two items. I won't go into federal charges, but I did file charges in Topeka against Carrie Gillen. If she was still alive today, she would be in prison, doing 10 to 20 years. The two items I mentioned right here would have got her disbarred, and you know that. Abuse of power position and failure to disclose a conflict of interest would have got her disbarred. See, I didn't want to bring up all of this, but you're forcing me to do that.
Mr. Duncan, I cannot impress upon you more. What would be in your best interest is to consult an attorney so that they can explain to you all of the nuances in regards to case law, statutes, roads, proper procedure for petitioning, and what you can and cannot do in this situation. I believe that it would be in your best interest to do so. And the allegations that you are making today, I don't understand the purpose at this point in time.
I don't either. They serve no purpose.
The purpose it shows, and I didn't want to bring it, is the fact that I did legally do it once. I did legally do it once.
But to the best of our knowledge, in looking through all of the records, we have not seen a formal petition that has been properly filed. And we're looking, Mr. Duncan, we're looking.
You're telling me that what I put in the paper is not correct? That you do not agree with the laws of the state of Kansas? That's what you're telling
Mr.
me?
Duncan, what I'm trying to tell you is there's a procedure by which you have to go through. And your best option is to consult an attorney so that you can do it properly.
No.
Please.
Well, my best option is to file a lawsuit against you and against you, Fleming.
Okay, we're not going to take some threats.
Well, I'm not.
We're not going to be threatened.
No, I'm not.
We are not going to be threatened. Let's get that straight right now.
I understand that.
Okay,
I
if you
understand
have
that.
anything more positive to say, let's say it.
Okay, I will do that. And one thing that I'm asking right now, are you a fire marshal?
Am I a fire marshal?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Do you have the legal right to enter property that's opposed to private property, no trespassing? Is there anywhere in your jurisdiction?
Okay, where's it leading to?
Okay, on the 29th of 21st of September. Now, where I live out of city limits. I've been burning there for several years. I always call and request permission to burn. And then when the burn fire's out, I call and let them know it's done. And I do have a burn permit. On the 21st of September, you know, it was 2 days after it rained, I soaked up a pile of old boards and tree branch, stuff like that, and burned them. I went and put my gas can away. I heard a vehicle door slam on. Went outside. He was standing in my yard. He said, well, I was checking to see if anybody was around. Well, my property has been posted for a long time, private property, no trespassing. Does he have the legal right to go on my property?
Would you rather he watched your house burn down from the road?
Well, first of all, it wasn't close to my house.
Okay, these are all...
I was just a concerned citizen when I seen that fire and as black as it was. I thought I better go see what's going on.
If you feel he was trespassing, you should have went down and filed charges at that point in time.
I understand that.
Okay.
But the point is, when I've been burned down there for 14 years, this is the first time anybody's ever came down there.
He's not there to do any damage to you, or
Well,
he was more concerned about your well-being than irritating you for trespassing.
what you're saying right now to me is that what I say is a legal county road is not a legal county road. Is that what you're telling me?
I did not say that, no, sir.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm asking. I'm asking for you to make that decision. I'll leave. I can read it in the minutes or whatever. But when I left here 6 weeks ago, you all said you'd discuss it. You get back with me. Well, that was 6 weeks ago, and no one ever got back with me.
Well, yeah, okay.
What is it you really want? You want the road worked, or do you want it elevated? What's the plan?
Like I said, for the last 5 years, I've been hauling rock and gravel and maintaining the road. And I spent well over $3,000 this year to maintain the road that should be maintained by the county. That's what I've asked for.
So what you're saying is, if we do designated county road, you want your money back?
No, I don't. I just want the road maintained like it should be.
Okay, that's what I'm wanting to know.
I'm not asking for any money, and you'd be surprised how much money I spent over the last few years. I'm not asking for that back. I'm asking for the road to be maintained by the county. Now, with what I've done this year, with all the rock stuff that needs milling put in over it and packed down, I know it's getting late in the year.
Well, the only recommendation I can give to you is that you follow Mrs. Bimes' advice,
I'll do that.
because that is what we do.
I'll do that.
And Bill, I think you'll find out if it becomes a county road and we go to blading it, we usually don't let farmers get out on the county roads and blade them themselves. We take care of it, and
I
you
understand
can
that.
call and say, I want my road bladed, and we'll say, we'll get to you when we got a chance.
Well, I
And
understand.
I don't know if you're gonna like that.
I understand that, Roger, but I also look at the different roads that you put milling in. 15 out here, this road out here, going southwest out of town. Can't you put milling in there and finish it out?
Well, because we kind of try to fix roads that are heavily traveled. And we're not looking at a road that is heavily traveled.
Well, first and foremost, it needs to be established in regards to
But I mean,
if it
if
is or
we-
is not. And then we can get to those discussions. But Mr. Duncan, as I keep saying over and over, please consult an attorney.
Well, I'm going to.
And please do not come in here and threaten us. That'll be the quickest way to end this.
Yeah, well,
One more question we
Yes.
got though is, one says was annexed to the city.
yeah.
Have they ever relinquished that back to the county? We gotta find
Oh,
out.
no, it was never annexed. It was proposed to be annexed in
Proposed, but not
1955,
done.
but never
It
done.
was
Okay.
never annexed, it was never
Yes.
platted, it was,
My point is, when the landowner, when we bought our property, the landowner said, this is a dedicated road and it meets everything it says in there. It meets all those requirements right here in 3 different Kansas Supreme courses. This says it is a road. And there's three cases right in there.
I do know, and I don't know if this pertains, but you cannot landlock somebody. If they sold you land, they have to give you access. And that's what they did in that letter, is to give you access. They didn't make it a county road. They give you access to your property. Is what it looks like to me. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get it to become a county road.
Okay, but then, explain this one to me.
I don't think I can. It'll have to be a lawyer that does
Well,
that.
no, but she's right there. A public road is established by prescription requires the road be used by the public with actual or implied knowledge of the landowner and be averse and continues for 15 years. Well, the landowner at that time was Dottie and Orville Henderson. The property was used the whole time they were there, and actually from 1947, well up until now, used by the public. There are people
Mr.
go up and
Duncan,
down.
you're confusing easements with open roads. That's why you need to consult an attorney, please.
You're saying says that's not a county road. All right. Okay, I'm done for now. And I will contact an attorney. I normally go south in winter, but I'm not this year. But I will be here all winter long, just to finally end this, one way or the other.
If the city has several residents that has either water or electricity there, do they have access to all this property?
You mean, do they have? I have city electricity.
And several of them residents in there have water and electricity from the city. With it,
That Dalfits have in the old basement house I grew up, it's water and electricity by the city and gas. Dale Hill is on water and electricity, but he's on propane. Now my fence line to the east of me is the dividing line now between REA and city electricity, because I was trying to switch to REA and I found that was the dividing line. I could not switch to REA even though I'm outside the city limits because of that. Does that answer your question?
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Dave.
this Brad sand and gravel, this is the gravel that we got to do the sand silt with. And we only got to go that one day. The second day was bad weather and I couldn't get the rest of this done, so that's where we come to halt there, so. Mother Nature hasn't cooperated since then.
Probably won't for a while.
No, it doesn't look like it. And Kibitko's the oil company. You'll see further down, that's where we got the oil from.
Where was that?
Kibitko.
Are they the ones doing
They shot the oil and who we paid the oil for. That's who we
Are
got
they
purchased.
the ones doing it on College Street?
No.
That's not the same outfit.
That's McCormick. Out of Colby or Stratton. He's got both places, but he's the one doing all the milling and everything like that, and he'll be bringing in hot mix for that, it sounds like. So I don't know whether I told you it or not, but I found out that they are not going to do the concrete on North Street and College
Are they not?
because of the problem with salt and stuff like that, and the asphalt, or the concrete wouldn't be cured enough.
So what's plan B there?
They're waiting, aren't they?
What's that?
Aren't they waiting till spring?
Wait until spring, so,
Okay.
but they're not going to do it
Alright.
this fall.
Numbers of money for that at the end of the year.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, because we agreed to pay
Half of that.
Right.
It's $22,000 if I remember right.
I think it was 17 something total. It seemed like it was 34,
34. Okay.
32 or 34, somewhere right in there.
So,
But I think originally they wanted to do that and then add the asphalt to actually meet it. So now it's going to be the other way around. So.
Is that a transport of diesel?
Yes, one transport. And the spreader cost. Correct. Which if I remember right, it was like 5,800 gallon.
That's a transport. 58. I think it was close to 5,000. I didn't know
Yeah,
what.
yeah. When they did our fog seal, I think they got a different trailer or something, but it was around that 6,300 to do everything we needed, so. But generally, they want to keep it around that.
$4 a gallon.
What's that?
Almost $4 a gallon.
No, with the transport and everything, it was $2.19, I think, is what.
I was just looking.
$2.46 a gallon. But that's including the spreader charge and everything. With this here.
Oh, to the co-op?
The truck, they have the truck that comes down.
I think
that-
you guys are talking about two different things. You're talking about diesel?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're talking two different things. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was at St. Francis Equity, we bought
Yes, we bought a
$20,000 worth of diesel. Was that a transported diesel?
that was a transported diesel. But that would be closer to 7,300 gallons.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Okay, yeah, we're on two different things then.
Them great to run on asphalt.
$2 and 5,000 gallons didn't add up to $20,000.
It made 2 trips.
This venture plant site that's out west of town, we do have the option to take all the material and then clean that up at no charge, and I would like to do that with your guys' permission.
You're talking about the one just west of town.
About 7 miles west of
Oh,
town. yeah,
that one out
6,
there,
yeah.
okay. Yeah. We can always use it.
Bill Duncan wants some.
What'd you say?
It's better than it's not.
And I do have a tire bid. I'm going to get some greater tires, and so it's going to be over the limit, but I'm getting bids on that, so I'm just about out of them. Landfill, Byron did go look at this four-wheeler that Grant Havel had for sale with CropQuest, I think it is, and he was interested in the two-wheel drive four-wheeler, $4,000. So if we can get that one, and then we'll go in and sell the one that he has. So.
Okay.
And then I did talk to Gerald with Penco. We need to have the landfill surveyed for the C&D pit. We just had a temporary permit, so then he needs to resurvey that and then work on getting a permanent C&D license or permit
Where are you gonna put it at?
where we have it.
You're just gonna keep going on down there.
Yep. Yep. So,
An
I did-
above ground permit then.
what's that?
You're just gonna have it so it's above ground, like
Yeah.
just add a berm and fill it up.
Correct. Use it, silo trench theory, yeah, working it that way. But we keep forgetting that it was just a temporary, KDHE reminded Byron that
They're not gonna forget.
they're not going to forget, that's right. Well, we need to get a permanent one, get all the licensing done, everything for that, so. Yeah. Okay.
Geez, after 25 years.
Hate to lose him.
Where's it going?
Foundation Energy,
Tell us that.
gas
company.
oil company.
So,
Yeah, I'd say Lane is a good hand.
Excellent, yeah.
geez, of 25 years, that, because he can't retire yet. I don't know what his age is, but there's no way he could get to that 85 points yet.
He's there.
Is he there?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he had some for the city before he got
Yeah, he
there.
worked at the city for years.
Well. So he's actually retiring, he's not just resigning. Is that right?
He's resigning.
He's resigning. He could retire if he wanted to, but he's not.
Oh, he's not going that route.
He's got points to retire, but he's not.
Okay.
You gotta wait till you're after 60 or they penalize the hell out of you.
No, not.
Oh,
He's one of our younger ones.
the- no.
Give us a copy of that, please.
What's that?
Can I have a copy?
Yeah, yeah, okay. So I guess I'm going to advertise for another guy. So,
Do we have to have a motion to accept that, or just,
Probably should.
I mean, I don't think there's anything we can do about it.
No,
I
but
guess we don't have to accept it.
Yeah, I'm putting Dave, we're gonna have a motion. I mean, I want to keep him, I don't care if we pay him or not.
I move we accept Kelly Hill's resignation.
Second. All those in favor? We're not in favor of it, but aye.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I got.
All right, thanks, Dave.
Only thing I have is get permission to advertise for a part-time person while Chris is on maternity leave.
Yes. And I'd like to request 10 minutes of executive session for legal advice with counsel.
Need a second?
Yep.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. I'm sorry.
So, I'm sorry. Will there be any?
No. No.
Is there
Yeah, I think that's it.
Maybe we better keep the notebook for another while.
Bang. Thank you, guys.
See you, Karen.